Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be covering a lot more about borderline personality disorder. I have a few myths and facts. This will help you to further understand what the disorder is and also give you more of a broader view of what we're going through. So we'll start off with the 5 most debilitating symptoms of borderline personality. First one is problems with relationship. This can come from a fear of abandonment, and we can also have unstable relationships. As I said in our previous video, we do feel emotions more intensely. So if you are feeling angry, sad, or happy, those are just normal emotions to you. But to a borderline, we feel them as if they are just so intense. So anger can be just this bubbling inside you that you just want to release at any moment. Or happiness can be so exciting that you look like an idiot, you're jumping around, you're screaming and all that sort of thing. Sometimes we do have an unstable identity, which means that we are unsure of ourselves. We have a feeling of emptiness, and we do sometimes have an unclear sense of self. We do have a tendency to perform self-damaging and impulsive behaviours. These impulsive behaviours can be seen as manipulative sometimes. So an example is if you're just going out on a night out, and it seems like you may not even be coming back. So we may beg you to stay or physically try to stop you from leaving. This is out of our control. Don't blame this on us. Because like I said, to us it seems like you may not be coming back, you may be leaving for good. And if we've got fear of abandonment, this can be the end of the world to us. The last one is unstable thinking, which can cause us to dissociate. Although borderline seems to be easy to self-diagnose, we do recommend that you go and get a proper diagnosis from a practitioner. This can be your psychiatrist. I was diagnosed, not officially, but we were suspecting things when I was seeing my psychologist. A psychologist cannot diagnose those, so I had to go and see a psychiatrist to get this diagnosis. So let's get into the facts. It's a fact that a lot of borderlines suffer from depression, anxiety, and sometimes even substance abuse. This can be due to our impulsive behaviours. It's a myth that most people diagnosed with borderline personality disorder have a tendency to be physically aggressive and untreatable. A lot of us are actually loyal, passionate, and courageous in this disorder. It's a fact that when borderline is diagnosed, it is usually in late childhood to early adulthood. Trauma may be a factor in the development of this disorder, but it can also be genetics. It's a myth when you find information online that borderline is untreatable. Like I said, it's a myth. Borderline can be treated through intensive therapies and medications. Like I said in the past video, the main thing that is used when treating borderline personality is dialectical behaviour therapy. A borderline's behaviour can be seen as unpredictable and strange. This is just to those around you. Something I want you guys to remember is that not every borderline is the same. We are all individual, just like anyone else. We all have our own personalities. We all have our own ambitions. The only thing we have the same is that we feel our emotions differently to everyone else. It's also a myth that borderline only affects females. Around 25% of the diagnosis is actually males. The baby talking in the background, it's just my son. I hope he's not too noisy for you guys. It's a myth that borderlines are actually manipulative and attention-seeking. To be manipulative, it needs to be pre-planned, while borderline's actually impulsive. As part of the series I'm doing on borderline personality, I wanted to get some ideas and some stories from other borderlines. This is one that I'd like to share with you. Excuse me as I read off my phone. and they're going to remain anonymous. The thing I'd like people to know about borderline personality disorder is that I do have an identity. Since I was a lot younger, I've had fight or flight mode on near enough constantly, and that's what narrows thinking of nearly any kind, abilities to process information, and it makes conversation very difficult. So you appear to not have any identity. Conversation is intimate also. So with traumatic memories to do with intimacy, you just go into a fight or flight automatically. Another thing about borderline is that the feeling of emptiness is not really emptiness. It's a low level of feeling compact. And in this state, when you say you feel nothing, that nothing is something. You feel boxed, and it's just like you're a prisoner who's given up trying to break out of the cell. The cell being fight or flight response. To the person who shared that story, I really just want to thank you. It's really insightful into what it's like to be a borderline. So that's the end of the first video in the series for borderline personality. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please tune in next week or maybe even a couple days. It depends on what I can do with this editing software that I've got at the moment. I'm really sorry that there's a watermark on it. But like I said, hopefully I can have another video up at the end of the week or maybe next week. Also, I just want to announce that I've been accepted as a national finalist for Ms. of Australia. This is a great honour and I cannot wait to go on this journey. If you can, please go and follow my Instagram to see as I progress through this journey, and don't forget to go and follow official Ms. of Australia on Instagram to see the journey of all the amazing contestants that have entered into this competition. So again, remember to like and subscribe, and as always, have a good one.